Okay, hello everybody. Glad you're with us here on a Tuesday. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, in association with our good friends at Yellowhammer News and YellowhammerNews.com. Man, the chat line is bumping early today. The River Region Straw chat line, folks are up, ready to go.
I love my man Ty. Ty slept in a little bit today. Ty only checked in 20 minutes before we went on the air, rather than his customary hour and a half. So he's probably feeling, pretty rested right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, stayed up a little late to watch the doubleheader of Monday Night Football and didn't wake up at his normal, 5:15-ish. I don't know why you'd stay up for that dog of a game. I fell asleep. It was just, the first game was really good. Second one, not so much.
Yeah, that's usually the way it is, and maybe if it was the 3:25 Sunday game and John had a little something on it, he'd be hanging on to everything. But, I mean, it is late. He's got to get up early. There's no interest in the game. This is boring. Let me get out of here. Put a little something on it. Somebody once told you. And it's all exciting. Yes.
Yeah, plus there was a good episode, a good rerun of Law and Order on BBC America last night. Yeah, so I got stuck watching that. And kind of lost interest in that Raider Charger game. But I still like the doubleheader on Monday night. I don't know why they don't do that every week. I got the plan for them. East Coast game starts at 6. West Coast game starts at 9. It's pretty simple. I don't know why we don't do it every week.
I had not remembered this from last year, and I didn't feel bad about it at all. But and this was a thing. It wasn't a big thing. I'm just mentioning it because it was kind of funny. Yesterday is our coaches show. Jared Parker, Kyle George, a couple of the Troy players, the men's golf coach, stuff like that for an hour, 6 until 7 at Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Troy.
Okay. All right.
6 o'clock. I mean, it is packed. The Troy people support the program a great deal. Not just the football program, but that particular hour-long program. But you always have a couple of guys on days like yesterday who come in, they came in 5:45 before we even went on the air. As you know, I'm already set up and ready, and, people are wearing their Troy gear and everything. Guy shows up in his Buccaneers hat, his Buccaneers jersey, and he's like, what in the world is all this? And, during the thing, we've got our audio. Hey, welcome into Trojan Talk. We've got our audio playing all over. Now, they got the game at Baumhauer's. As a matter of fact, they had that game on about 14, 15 televisions all throughout.
Yeah.
But the guy couldn't hear Joe Buck and Aikman and those guys. And you could tell he was a little disappointed. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're not going to complain because they're not pushing us aside. But that's what that's one of the things the doubleheader does, is it pushes that first game to 6, and you can watch it, but you're going to have to listen to me for an hour. So it was kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. The early 6 o'clock kick, 9 o'clock on the West Coast, which is 7 o'clock out there.
Yep. And
to me, I think the NFL, they're pretty smart. They know how to make money. I don't know why that wouldn't be an issue. That you just go double header on Monday night. Get away from that Thursday night. To me, Barry, the teams that play on Thursday, I know they got more time on the back end, but man, 3-4 days rest before they got to play again from Sunday to Thursday, particularly if you're traveling. And I know these guys are professionals, but if I'm thinking, let's just doubleheader on Monday, forget about the Thursday game.
And maybe, just maybe, they're on to something John and I kind of complained about when when we first got exposed to the NFL. Ty goes, he's citing his sources here. He'd written a great term paper when he was in college. Ty says, someone wrote an article somewhere. Somebody did something somewhere. I read an article about how many Sunday games went right down to the wire. Great weekend for the NFL. Buccaneers win yesterday. Late score. Baker Mayfield engineered a game-winning touchdown drive with 2 minutes to go for the second straight week.
Correct.
And for the fifth straight year, the Bucs are 2-0. Let's see. Whatever. The Eagles.
And believe it or not about that game, don't let the score fool you, but that was a defensive game.
It was. It was. I mean, I was peeking at it during our commercial breaks, but both teams getting after it defensively.
Yeah.
Eagles and Chiefs was a 3-point game. Colts beat the Broncos by 1. That's a couple of the other ones.
Well, I can tell you one game.
49ers and the Saints was a 5-point game. Some people would tell you it wasn't even that close. Cowboys beat the Giants on a walk-off field goal by 3. Meanwhile,
unfortunately, that wasn't the case in the latter Monday night game. More on that later.
Yeah. But meanwhile, in the college game, let's take a look at some of those. And parity, I mean, people are watching the NFL down to the final whistle. Come on, man, I need this. Let's go. Let's get this field goal. Meanwhile, there were a couple of good games, and we're not going to sugarcoat that. John and I were very impressed with the Texas A&M Notre Dame game, the Arkansas Ole Miss game. But, elsewhere, Missouri beats Louisiana 52-10.
Yeah.
Oklahoma beats Temple 42-3. Texas Tech beats Oregon State 45-14. North Texas beats Washington State 59-10. And there were a lot of those games that took place in week 3.
Michaels mentioned that to us a week or so ago. It's harder to handicap college football because the point differential is so great, much greater. I mean, I think the percentage I had heard one time in the NFL, 60-something% of the games end in 3 or under. So they're always pretty tight. Yeah, they're not a lot of big blowouts in the NFL. Most of the final scores are relatively close. You don't see many point spread. If you see a team that's a double-digit underdog in the NFL, I think the highest point spread I ever remember seeing, there was a time that the Bengals were terrible, and they were back when Jerry Rice and Joe Montana were at San Francisco, and the Bengals were really, really bad. I know they met in the Super Bowl one time. Years later.
Yeah.
And the 49ers were like a 17-point favorite. That'd be like a 50-point favorite in college. You just don't see that very often. 14, maybe once a season, but they're usually single digits and usually 7 points or less.
And that's the reason why they allow the worst teams to pick first in the draft.
Yeah.
So they want parity. They want every game, if they could, to go down to the final horn. They want, 9-7, 10-6, 11-5. That keeps everybody juiced. That keeps everybody interested. Let's face it, the last couple of weeks, Auburn and Alabama have kind of sleptwalked through things a little bit. Now, my co-host has an easy solution towards spicing up the college game a little bit for the Sharps. There are 3 letters, B, B, C, which is never going to happen. But if you want that a little bit more, John thought, a 9-game SEC schedule is a start.
Yeah, we're getting there.
It's a baby step. It's nowhere near where he wants to be, but you would get rid of some of these ULM games Eastern Illinois down the line, or stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I wonder, Barry, if there's some fan bases out there that really think the season has started because of who they've played. And, we're getting to the meat of the schedule. The conference games are rolling in. I believe Kentucky and Ole Miss are the only Ole Miss has played 2 conference games so far. They played more than anybody else. But we're kind of really getting into the conference part of the game of the schedule. First couple of weeks, all right, there were some good ones there. But I think people, in my mind, college football season's about to start. We've had our preseason, if you will. I don't like that. I mean, if we spend all summer getting ready for the start of college football, let's don't ease into it. Let's just jump in the deep end. Let's go for it right from the get-go. Time's a wasting. What are we doing here?
Like John says, just as it's starting to get good, you're in week 4, week 5. Come on.
That's right. Let's go. So I'm all for that. I think that'd be great. In this week, going to be some good games, obviously. Auburn at Oklahoma, certainly a 2:30 game on ABC. Looking forward to that one. Probably the marquee SEC game this week. Let me take a look here. Yeah,
it is.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there are some clunkers this week. Texas playing Sam Houston.
Yep.
What?
Sam Houston, the Bearcats with a K.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with them. If somebody were to jump at me right now without Google and say, hey, Barry, what city in Texas is Sam Houston in? I would.
Do you say Houston? Because it's got Houston in it? I'm thinking.
No, it's not.
What did Sam Houston do? I know he's some historical figure. I remember learning about him in grammar school.
He was a figure in Texas independence. I think he was a governor of Texas or something like that. Meanwhile, Sam Houston is one of 11 winless teams remaining in football.
So folks, you've had Texas play San Jose State, UTEP. Now they're playing Sam Houston in their conference schedule: Florida, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, Georgia, Arkansas, and Texas A&M. Very manageable for the Longhorns. One game, Barry, that I do have my eye on, because what do they say? Elephants don't forget. I remember the last time Tulane went to Oxford to play Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And I believe the Phantom had Tulane plus some points, and Tulane's winning the game by double digits. And Kiffin decides to get cute at the end. And not only, he's winning, but we're winning by single. But no, he wants to pile it on at the end. And I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me.
Greedy son of.
Yeah. So, everybody's giddy on Ole Miss. They've won back-to-back conference games. If Tulane goes in there and beats them, am I going to be disappointed? No, because I remember that game the last time they played in Oxford.
Ole Miss is an 11.5-point favorite in the game, the number 13 Rebels. It is John Sumrall used to be an assistant coach at Ole Miss. Tulane and Ole Miss are both 3-0. But you look elsewhere in the top 25, and they're doing it again. Tennessee, a 40.5-point favorite over UAB, who is 2-1 but hasn't played anybody. Florida, a 45.5 point. I'm sorry, Florida State, a 45.5-point favorite over Kent State. Notre Dame, one of the 11 winless teams in college football. Maybe when Greggy was on the sidelines at the A&M game up there, maybe they invited him. Hey, man, are you still interested in us at all?
Well, Barry, you bring that up.
26.5-point favorite over Purdue.
Speaking of citing people, citing Joseph Goodman at AL.com, wrote an article about Sankey, dropping hints about the future of the SEC. And I'm thinking, whoa, wait a minute. No way. That headline grabbed my attention. Did Greg Sankey drop me a hint about the future of the SEC? I'm thinking, I'm scared to read it. This is too good to be true. I'm thinking Sankey's in South Bend Saturday night lobbying Notre Dame to come to the SEC. I read the article. Nowhere in it does it say that.
Well, nowhere in there does Greg say anything decipherable anyway. I mean, he could probably say in his own unique way, we are about to extend an invitation for membership to Notre Dame, but he would say it like an imminency of and John would say, I think he just either invited Notre Dame to the SEC or he ordered a pizza. I don't know. Does anybody get that? So he can do that.
Words on you. There's no doubt about that. You got to be listening closely. when the commissioner talks. He's got a very, very expansive vocabulary, but nowhere that headline, Barry, is very tricky. It'll fool you. Because when I saw it, I went, uh-oh, I'm reading between the lines here. I think I know what I'm about to read. Nowhere in there does it say it. Something about Big Ten rivalry games and get rid of these crappy games, which was fun to read. I did enjoy it, but I was expecting more. You fooled me on that one. Or did you? Or did you? I'll read that again and read between the lines. Maybe I should.
Joseph Goodman says, for a guy who lawyers up his sentences more than rental car contracts, those are practically fighting words. He was slapping the Big Ten around.
Yeah.
He says, I've known Sankey for a pretty long time. He's a good guy. I can say with about 85% confidence that Saturday was the first time I've interviewed him, and he took the back of his hand and smacked the Big Ten so hard that the league's nose started to bleed.
Yeah.
All right.
But Notre Dame's not a Big Ten school. Yeah.
Well, no, but he was at Alabama, Wisconsin in the morning. And then A&M at Notre Dame in the afternoon. The Alabama-Wisconsin game is the game that Joseph Goodman evidently caught up to him with. So how about?
So I don't know. Being there in South Bend on the sidelines, I don't know. Maybe he was lobbying the Irish. We might know one day. Barry, something else caught my attention since we last were together, and it was kind of scary. I got to tell you. And I know we're only 25% through the college football season at this point, but I'm telling you, man, let me regroup because it just gives me the shivers thinking about it. And I'll try to collect myself during this break so I can explain. Wow. Yeah.
Beth Mowens is doing the Alabama-Georgia game in a week and a half.
There's no way.
17 minutes into our live show on a Tuesday. Later on, Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com, Travis Reier on YouTube. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. All right, welcome back in, everybody. About 20 minutes past the hour here on this Tuesday. As Barry mentioned, in about 10 minutes, Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com. Top of the hour, Travis Reier on YouTube, Talking Tide. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate that. Tell all your friends, business associates, church members, whomever you may be hanging around with. Let them know where we are. YellowhammerNews.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on X, on Spotify, on Apple Tunes. We're there for you. whenever it's convenient for you to view and listen. You can watch us live, or you can watch us and listen to us anytime that's convenient for you. That's what's so unique about our new platform.
Yeah.
All right, Barry, we got to get some teams, some big boys to get their act together.
Yeah.
25% done with the regular season college football. You mentioned Notre Dame. You mentioned Clemson. They're in some pretty tough situations. Alabama's kind of in a tough one. They need to get their act together as well. Can't afford
the winless teams, 11 winless teams right now. Notre Dame is one, although they've lost 2 games in the last second to top 10 teams.
Yeah.
UCLA, Virginia Tech, Oregon State. Are they even a Power 4 team anymore? They got drilled
terrible
last week.
So playing Oregon this week, I believe.
Yeah, and Oregon's like a 42-point favorite.
Yeah. All right. Barry, I mean, this sent shockwaves yesterday. I'm bebopping around, looking at a few things. This catches my attention. I know this drives Philip crazy.
Bebopping around.
Projected college football playoff teams and matchups in the first round on campus, and then who these on-campus winners would end up playing. But Barry, this is what got me. Is college football gotten this bad? Here are the matchups by a couple of so-called college football experts.
Yeah.
From ESPN, South Florida at LSU, Tulane at Oregon, Utah at Miami, Illinois at Florida State. Whoa. South Florida, Tulane, Illinois in the 12-team playoff?
Illinois is a state school. I mean, they got 35,000 students go to school there. Red Grange went to school there.
Last time I remember, Illinois played Alabama in the Liberty Bowl in Coach Bryant's last game. What have they done
since then? Played there. Come on now. What's wrong with Illinois? Now, Tulane, I know because I've been around them. Tulane, look, Tulane, there was not a bigger Tulane fan in America back in the day when Tommy Bowden was coaching them. Sean King was a quarterback. Tulane went 11-0, and I think John added a room to his home because of Tulane.
Well, they won a lot of money off Tulane. Not only did they go undefeated, but against the spread, I believe they were like 11-1 that year. So they were very profitable. I didn't really care about Tulane being in the national championship. I was just really more interested about them covering that year.
See,
that was
your
pre-playoff.
Heart, man.
That was
Where's your
pre-playoff.
heart?
Yeah.
It's a wonderful institution. You made a lot of money out of them. I could care less about them, but
yeah. It's kind of like, if you're not covering for me, I hope you lose. But what was even
all right, this is ESPN. Okay.
That's right.
All right.
On December the 28th, I believe December the 27th, 2 days after Christmas, on a Saturday.
4 days after John's birthday.
True, good point.
Which is on a Tuesday.
When is the last time Alabama played in a bowl game on the 27th of December? Because they're projected to play Louisville in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl.
That's not a college football playoff venue. What?
Auburn is playing in the Music City Bowl, either against Minnesota or Michigan.
Minnesota again? Why is it always Minnesota or Wisconsin or Northwestern?
Then another there's another one of these analysts has Alabama playing Indiana in the Cheez-It. Was the Pop-Tart Bowl not available? That's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I mean, Bama, you better tighten up. I can promise you. Fans aren't going to the Cheez-It Bowl or the Tax Slayer Bowl and that crap. They don't want it. Forget it. You're looking at the time. I mean, there again, can they go David Hobbs and go, hey, listen, we really appreciate the invite, but we're going to take a pass.
Can't. Can't. I mean, you know, you are part of the. I mean, you signed up for it. What are they going to do? Kick us out?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Jeez.
what are they going to do? We ain't going. Well, they're going to kick us out. Really? Come on. Yeah, whatever. Wasn't there a bowl game that everybody opted out or somebody got?
Oh yeah, Marshall did.
And
Marshall opted out of the bowl game because their head coach Charles Huff left right after the conference championship game. It took half the team, more than half the team, with him. Yeah. They couldn't go. They said they couldn't go, and so they opted out. And the Sun Belt fined them a pretty good bit and all that, thinking, you got players. I mean, I know you got at least 22 players that can play in that game.
Yeah.
You have a contract. Well, yeah, but they were walk-ons and third-teamers. They still are football players at Marshall University.
Who was the team that filled in for them?
Oh, heck, that I don't. I knew John would do that. John will always.
Navy?
John will ask a question. I'll come up with an answer, and John says, well, let me ask a further, much more difficult question to follow that up.
I think it was like either Army or Navy. I'm not positive, but something that kind of rings a bell.
Because they had a losing record, but their academics were good or something like that.
So look, hey, Greg Byrne, not Greg Sankey. Hey, Greg, keep that in the back of your mind. We're going to have to opt out.
We don't have enough good players?
Yeah.
Just look at the Florida State tape. Maybe. I don't know. The
Cheez-It Bowl.
Yeah, I'm with Jason. You know, let's see if they get any. You know, it doesn't mean anything. And you know they're coming out of the woodwork. Oh, those teams don't belong. Forget about accomplishments and achievements and all that. Brian says, haven't we tried this with TCU and Cincinnati? TCU beat Michigan.
That's a good one, Brian.
That wasn't their first time in the college football play. They had played and beaten Michigan the week before.
Forget about
Brian
Boise State.
Boise, SMU.
Yeah, here we go.
There's some people who think that I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what their record is. I don't care who they are. No. They just don't belong. The unfortunate thing there is that you forget about Boise winning the Fiesta Bowl one year. You forget about SMU.
Well, did they run that flea flicker trickaroo play in that game?
Yeah.
It's all right. And then the guy proposed to his girlfriend.
His girlfriend. Yeah.
That's the only two things.
As soon as he scored the 2-point conversion, he keeps on running. His girlfriend's a cheerleader in the end zone.
So, Barry, two fluky things are what I remember about that game. Nothing else. But two fluky things. That's the only thing I remember. That's not what you want. Now, I got to tell you, the yuckity yucks and the higher ups and the suit guys at ESPN, that ain't the schedule they want. They don't want any of Tulane. They don't want any of
what? I'm so sick of you talking about that. So what? Some nerd up there with horn-rimmed glasses and buck teeth is saying, oh, we got to have this team. We got to have this team. Brian says it doesn't matter, but you got to think bigger. No, Brian, you got to think better. You know, was there anybody that you can think of that might have been better?
Well, there again,
than
we can
SMU?
have this touchy-feely. It's not fair, and they deserve it, and they, play just as hard. But in the real world,
I hate that.
That doesn't matter because the executives up there that are spending billions of dollars on this college football playoff want the absolute best product they can get. That meaning teams that the public is familiar with. Why do the Dallas Cowboys play on Monday night all the time? Because people recognize them.
Is that fair?
Hey, life's not fair.
Is America?
I can give you 1,000 examples of life not being fair.
This is what scares me. America, man, we're not built on accomplishment. We're not built on achievement and striving for excellence. Let's just get the same things over and over and over again. We built ourselves on our brand.
Well, that's a key word. Built. If some of these programs will build themselves up to get to the level that these big boys have gotten to, most of them on the backs of these big boys by picking up big checks and bringing them back home, if they can build themselves up and become a long-standing, tradition-rich program that decade after decade after decade has been a good football program, then yeah, they'll get there. But just these flash in the pans, oh, they've had a great season, let's let them in. That's not what the guys in the boardroom are looking for. They're looking for Notre Dame, Ohio State, Penn State, Texas, Alabama. You know the group. I've got them memorized.
We've got a great team we deserve to be in. That doesn't play in your mind.
We'll pat you on the
team.
Head.
Great team.
Did you see after SMU and who else got in? Who was it? Boise. I've already forgotten. SMU and Boise last year. What did they do? Whoa, we got to change these matrix up a little bit. We got to change the rules to make it more easier for the teams we want in. Like, I don't know, strength of schedule. That's going to be a big factor now. It's amazing how this committee changes the rules just about every year to kind of, I don't know, help ease in the teams that they want and not SMU's in. What? Huh? Really? Is there nothing that we can do about that? Well, you really can.
Heisman Trophy winners. They've won tons of. They are a rich school. They got in a little trouble, but yeah,
a little bit.
Brian says we want to see helmet games. The Blue Bloods all the time, though, Brian. Let me ask you this honestly: don't you get tired of the same teams? Even if they're not all that good, and Brian, that there's a lot of these blue bloods that every once in a while, they're not that good. You still want to see them over. Do you, just a simple question, do you ever get tired of the same thing over and over and over again? Unless it's the grilled grouper sandwich at the Destin Connection, I think you got to at some point, right?
Well, no, I don't think so. I just think the familiarity of particular teams. I always go back to the Cowboys. When's the last time the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl? When's the last time they won the NFC Championship? But people still flock to them.
You hate them.
Love the Cow. I do. But America seems to love them. There's some series on Netflix right now.
Cheerleaders or
an 8-episode series about how Jerry Jones acquired the Cowboys and what he's done with them since then. I'm thinking, could they not do that about another team? No, because America's going to watch the Cowboys.
John's tired of the Cowboys. Can they not do it about somebody else? I'm tired of seeing them all the time. Plays right into my point. Brian, just get...
But obviously America likes them.
I mean, you're the guy that, I'm going to this restaurant. I've always got to get this for the 735th time, I'd like to see somebody else.
Well, here's an NFL. So if the Jaguars ended up winning the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
And the Dallas Cowboys don't even make the playoffs.
Right.
When the NFL makes the schedules for next season, Dallas is going to be on Monday night just as many times as the Jags are. Well, wait a minute. Dallas didn't even make the playoffs. The Jags won the Super Bowl. Don't matter. America loves the Cowboys.
This is not what America stands for.
Don't matter.
This is not what America stands for. It doesn't matter what you do. It's what people think of you.
And I'll even go this far. The Cowboy games would rate higher than the Jags games, even though the Jags are the defending Super Bowl champs.
Even though the Jaguars are better.
Matter.
Doesn't matter. Better schmetter. Who wants to be good at something? You just want to be talked about. I got you. When we come back, Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com, will join us. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Your chance to win big at Victoryland Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. It is Tuesday. We got about 25 minutes or so to the top of the hour. And our man, Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com, joining us here this morning as he does each and every Tuesday. Hey, Brian, how you doing today?
Good morning. Doing great, guys.
Good to have you in with us. First of all, the takeaways, 31-15 over South Alabama. It wasn't an absolute total steamrolling whitewash or anything like that, and some Auburn fans aren't real happy that it wasn't, Brian. What do you think?
Yeah, and it could have been. Auburn's up 28-9 at halftime, and you felt like maybe they could put it away in the third quarter and, get all South Alabama had that long drive to end the first half. Then they started the second half with another 11-play, 75-yard touchdown drive. So that really set the tone for the second half. Auburn only had a few positions. South Alabama was able to control the clock. Auburn's defense couldn't get off the field, and made it a little bit more uncomfortable than maybe it should have been.
Brian, injuries leading into the Oklahoma game. Obviously, the two-game road trip with conference teams, Oklahoma and Texas A&M. You certainly want your team to be as healthy as it possibly can be, but I understand there are a couple of players that are nicked up. But what can you tell us about Eric Singleton?
He had a hip pointer during the game, but Coach Freeze thinks that him and most of Auburn's injured players will be ready for against one player concerned about is Amaris Williams, defensive lineman. Amaris was a defensive line, was suffered separated shoulder against South Alabama, be out for a little while, I believe.
There's going to be so much said about the return of Jackson Arnold. He better not get his feelings hurt or anything like that, because they're going to be rough on him. What do you give me an overview of how he's played in the first three games? What do you think?
I'd say he's been solid. I don't think he's been spectacular. I think he runs the ball better than anybody really expected, and I think that's going to be something that you'll use more of against their tougher opponents, because it's tough to defend a quality running quarterback. I think the best thing he's done is not turn the ball over, which was a big problem for Auburn last season. I'm sure he's going to throw some interceptions at some point this year, but so far so good. And on that point, he's had good ball security when he's been sacked and when he's running the ball too. So that's a real big positive. And Coach Freeze seems to think he's a self-confident kid who is going to handle this trip back home well. That remains to be seen. I'll be watching that really closely, because this is going to be an initial trip for him.
Yeah, I think it's going to, it's what, fourth game of the year. I guess really it doesn't matter when the game is scheduled, but just going back to a team that you were a part of for a couple of years, and then going back into that atmosphere. I guess mentally you can try to get ready for it, but you're not going to really be ready until you step out there on the field. But once that happens and you take that first hit, it ain't going to matter anymore. I mean, I've always never been a believer of, all this psychological stuff. I've always felt like, the first time you get hit in the mouth, all that's out of the window. You ain't thinking about that. You're thinking about winning.
Yeah, and I think the biggest problem for Auburn is the talent. And, it's going to be a very, very loud and fired up stadium Saturday afternoon, because Oklahoma competed at the SEC or playoff spot. Got that quarterback and a new offensive coordinator. So I think it's going to be the toughest thing for Auburn to overcome this weekend.
You wrote a piece, and I noticed this in his press conference yesterday. He said, "I'd like to throw it deep more." I think this is in-depth stuff, so stay with me. He says, quote, "I'd like to throw it deep more. I think that those deep passes that are completed are really good. The ones that are incomplete are not so good." End quote. I can't disagree with that logic. And you wrote a piece about that, Brian.
Yeah, Auburn's at the bottom of the SEC, and it's it's vertical and passing past 20 yards or more. I just don't think that's much money now. You can talk about it, quarterback room, wide receiver room, to be that not explosive offensive in your passing game. So I think it's an issue. I don't know if there's sandbagging going on or it's a real fundamental issue or flaw with the offense, but that's something you get going. There's no reason for Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton and this really talented group of receivers just to catch these short passes all game long. They need to stretch the field and do some things that they are capable of doing and providing big plays for the.
Do you think they've been holding back, just waiting for the SEC, the meat of the SEC schedule to come on, to pop up on the schedule?
I think it's possible. I'm a little wait and see on that. My experience tells me that good teams don't hold stuff like that back. They out there and get through the season, so it's something that other teams have to prepare for, and they're ready when they get in those moments instead of just hey, we're going to debut this big package, the road at Oklahoma in this fierce environment. And, we'll see. But I'm a little skeptical, to just be honest with you.
What about the offensive line so far? I've asked you about Jackson Arnold. It seems to be getting better the more experience they get, which is likely anyway. What kind of a letter grade do you give the offensive line through 3 games?
Probably a B. Yeah, definitely improved. Running the ball well. Auburn's third in the conference and rushing offense. And pass pro's been a little up and down, but I think it's been overall pretty good for Jackson. So I think as a whole, they've gotten better. They're very experienced. Certainly, it's tough going on the road to a place like Oklahoma, so there'll probably be some issues there, some false starts, etc., because it's hard to hear. But I think it's a pretty veteran unit, and they're playing about how I expected.
Defensively for Auburn, Brian, what is your biggest concern for Auburn's defense going up against this Oklahoma offense?
Well, the pass rush has been really good, better than I thought it'd be. And they're playing a lot of young players, and the run defense has been solid too. It's just the pass coverage, the pass defense, the slot receivers, they just continue to have problems there against quality to average opponents. And I think there's some personnel issues there. They need to get the right players in the right spots, and they're just not performing well in certain moments. So that's the biggest thing, especially going up against an Oklahoma team with a really good quarterback and some pretty good receivers that I'm certainly have seen that film.
I kind of figured that would happen. Unfortunately, we that was kind of a spotty internet from him. But several other questions that we wanted to ask him. Hugh Freeze had his press conference yesterday, and how Jackson Arnold is going to handle it. He said he's a pro, and he'll handle it like a pro has. It sounds weird to say that about your college player, but he is. They all are.
I never really thought about that, Barry, but they are being paid.
That's the definition of professional.
I guess you can be a professional and still go to school. Do they still go to school? Do they?
Well, heck, you were a professional and you went to school still. I got paid whenever I was in college for work that I did.
Yeah.
He's a pro.
He's
got to handle it like a pro. I did like this. And and I'm just funning around a little bit. It's kind of like, not a deep team from a depth standpoint. Somebody asked him about throwing it deep, and they haven't thrown it deep a lot, but they've got some guys that can do it. And Freeze said this, quote, "I'd like to throw it deep more. I think those deep passes that are completed are really good. The ones that are incomplete are not so good. I think we've got the threats to throw it deep, and hopefully we can be a little more aggressive and more consistent in throwing it down the field." John,
Barry,
I can't disagree with a word.
I don't have a problem with an incomplete pass. It's an intercepted pass that I've got a problem with.
Yeah,
now, Gene Stallings made the comment one time about throwing the football. 3 things can happen, and only one of them's good.
2 of them are bad. That's exactly right.
An incomplete pass, not the worst thing in the world, but an intercepted pass, that's not what you're looking for.
No.
Sometimes quarterbacks throw passes intentionally for them to be incomplete.
Yes.
And hoping the official doesn't throw a flag for grounding.
And sometimes that is the proper thing to do. Unfortunately, somebody like DJ Lagway throws 4 interceptions, costs his team the game. I also like it when coaches do this. Not necessarily people in our business and not necessarily play-by-play guys. Coach Freeze does this a lot. In the press conference, he'll mention his players, but he'll mention them by their nicknames.
Yes.
And it's up to you to figure out who he's talking about. He's talking about young linebackers. X is playing really well. X is Xavier Atkins. Who are some of the other ones? That he's talking about. There's a young defensive player named Anquan Fagans. And he called him New Boy. New Boy? What is he, a pledge?
Yeah, really, no doubt.
That's the deal.
And you got to figure 20.
You gotta, if you're doing the play-by-play and you go, "Oh, New Boy just made a great play," 99% of the people listening go, "Who in the heck is New Boy?"
Well, there was
you don't
do
that as a play-by-play guy, but in a press conference setting, it's up to you to figure out who he's talking about.
There was a time when Auburn had a coach back in the when was that time period? Maybe late 80s, early 90s. That would refer to his players by their numbers, and some people said he didn't know who the players were. That's why he had to refer to them by the numbers. But later on, there was another coach in the state that did the same thing. The only difference is he won about 6 national championships.
Well, that's a thing now. That's a thing. That's why in practice, like in the first, the first spring practices, you had that happen, I'm sure, where the coach gets athletic tape or gets you to get athletic tape, put your name in magic marker across the front of your jersey, across the front of your helmet. We had a kid named Jeff Lesazinski, and the coach just told him to put ski across there. That's how, when you talk to a coach about film, hey, what do you like about, what impresses you about this team you're about to be playing? Well, 21's a great player.
Yeah.
Great speed. 93 is a problem on the outside. And I'm sitting here writing it down. Look up later. Who is 2?
Yeah.
And all that. So, that's because they watch all that film.
Yeah.
And they're saying,
sure.
Who is 17? Goodness gracious. The double 6 guns down the sidelines after the field goal. That was
I probably should have referred to him as Joey and Billy and Tommy and Timmy. But my last stint as a YMCA youth football coach, it was 14. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Come on. So I got into the number stuff too. It's a lot easier just to yell the number out at them instead of their name.
Yeah. And, back in the day when he was, in a position to do so in the local fraternal life. Hey, New Boy. Give me another one. Give me another one. That one's not cold enough. Yeah. Go deep in the cooler, okay? Hurry up.
I'd see a New Boy walking by us there in the front of the house. I go, hey, are you walking across the street? Knowing all well he probably wasn't.
Was not.
Are you walking across the street? He go, oh, yeah. Oh, great. Pick me up a pack of Marlboro Lights. I'll pay you when you get back.
Which was usually optional. That was about a 50-50.
I mean, smokes were like 90 cents a pack. Well, I am aging myself. How about that, folks? I don't know what a pack of cigarettes costs today. I have no clue. I think they're expensive. I do hear people tell me that smoking is not only horrible for you, but it also is expensive.
Yeah.
45 years ago, it was 90 cents.
Now 90 cents is like tax on a pack or something like that. But, you like Brian, like Dye. Way back when I was covering them full on, they had a snapper named Brian Brinsfield.
Yeah.
Pretty good snapper.
Uh-huh.
Coach Dye couldn't tell you his name upon pain of death. Brainsworth, Bronsfield, Bosworth. He couldn't say Brinsfield to save his life. Then again, he never, I don't think he was even coaching then. He never called Teapot. He never called the Lizard. He always called them whatever Teapot Brown's first name was. I don't even know. Maybe it was his first name. Markeith Cooper, never. Yeah. It was always, it was always, anytime somebody mentioned Markeith, first thing you can count on, Longshore, the Lizard.
Yeah, the Lizard.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. Little ball of hate.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Did I hear you say until he stopped coaching?
Yeah. Until he stopped being on the payroll hang on. Until he stopped going to practice every day. No, hang on.
You mean? Whoa.
Okay, you know what I mean.
I was telling a Dye story on Sunday, and was telling the story about, I forgot what game it was, but I asked Dye, he would join us on Mondays during football season. I said something about Auburn's offense or something. And he jumped all over me about, what do you know about calling offense in college or something?
Yeah.
I went, well, nothing, but I'm just kind of curious what you think about it.
When Longshore was playing, they didn't have to have the athletic tape across the front with Longshore written in there. They're like, that's not the play he's supposed to run. Who is it? Never mind. They look at each other. The coaches on it.
Yeah.
Longshore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
take a break.
Let's do it.
Don't forget, coming up, Travis Ryer on YouTube. Bama fans, do you love the Tide again? I'm not seeing any chats from people like Bob from Pike Road. Got to get rid of him now. He's an embarrassment. Never going to be. We're all cool with him again. Bob likes him now.
Hold on. Let me give you a date to circle. The 29th of September. That's the Monday after the Alabama-Georgia game.
Oh, that's a biggie, Billy. Ooh, Billy. Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air rallies for you. No matter the problem, Dixie will tackle it. Their licensed and trusted electricians, plumbers, air and garage door technicians are ready to win for you. From toilets to garbage disposals, circuit breakers to HVAC systems, Dixie never fumbles. Don't throw away your hard-earned money on second-string contracting companies. Score big with Dixie. After all, they are your biggest fan. Visit calldixie.com or dial them up locally at 262-2946.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs. All righty, welcome back in. A couple of minutes to the top of the hour here on a Tuesday. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Barry, do you think Shane Beamer's going to Virginia Tech?
No. I know that's where he went to college, and his dad's an icon. Believe me, there's nothing to Virginia Tech that he needs. He's in the SEC. Now, South Carolina is not what anybody considers to be upper echelon SEC, but they love their football. They support it. It's in the SEC, and you got a lot more really good players around to recruit than otherwise. So, yeah, he's where he forget about his dad and his alma mater and all that. That's just not going to happen. No.
I saw that yesterday, and it surprised me. I thought, wow, really? I mean, I know the connections there at Virginia Tech, but I'm with you. I'd stay at South Carolina. You're in the SEC. And to me, I mean, Virginia Tech is just, they're just, there again. Nobody wants to see them in a playoff. You're not going to see them in the primetime game on Saturday night. They're just one of those flash in the pan kind of teams that, was good for a minute and everybody's forgotten about them.
It's just not a good job anymore. Not at all. I don't.
Inner Sandman's not going to win you any games.
Hang on. Oh, I hate it from him. I hate it for him. Yeah, but no. He's where he needs to be. He's got it rolling. Virginia Tech is like West Virginia. That's why, I was cool with, Neil Brown leaving there. And I love Neil Brown. What they think they're better than they really are. Michael Vick ain't running through that door anymore. It ain't. They think, oh my gosh, we need to be 12-0 every year and go in the playoff. Virginia Tech, you're middle of nowhere. I was there this past spring, and it's a beautiful school. But how many of you are thinking in the morning, when you get on? Okay, let's see what Virginia Tech did.
Well, here's another school, Barry. That
it's in that realm.
Maybe not so much, but I thought this was very interesting that somebody sent me yesterday, one of our operatives in the field. Since the start of 2024, which was, less than 2 years ago, I'm going to give you Team A and Team B.
All right, I'm concentrating here.
This is what Team A has done since the start of 2024. 10-6 overall. 7-5 versus power conference teams, 3-0 versus the ACC, 4-5 versus the SEC, 2 wins versus AP top 15 programs. Want to take a guess?
I would say Alabama.
Nope. Team B, 11-6 overall, 8-6 versus power conference teams. 8-2 versus the ACC.
The ACC, okay, all right.
0-4 against the SEC. 1 win versus an AP top 15 team.
I'd say that's Clemson.
That is correct. Team B is Clemson.
All right.
Team A, Vanderbilt.
Hey, go over Team A again real quick.
10-6
Vanderbilt.
10-6 overall.
10-6.
7-5 versus power conference teams.
Yeah.
3-0 versus the ACC. They've already beaten Vatech and Clemson. I don't know who they beat last year. I'll have to look at their schedule. 4-5 versus the SEC. 2 wins versus AP top 15 programs.
Okay.
They beat Alabama last year.
How about that?
I don't believe Auburn was a top 15 team last year that they beat, but pretty impressive that Vanderbilt, since the start of 2024.
But
interesting.
Is Clark Lee a candidate at Virginia Tech, UCLA, some of those things? Is Clark Lee that guy, because let's face it here. Let's face it. All this is great about Vanderbilt. Good stuff. Show your gold, anchor down.
True.
But Vanderbilt, as of right now, is 3-0. If they go 6-3 the rest of the way, Brian Cannon still ain't going to have them in the college football playoff because they're Vanderbilt.
You know, Mayor, I knew where you were.
Any good? I don't care if they go 12-0. Don't put them in the playoff. They're not a blue blood. They're not a helmet team.
Yeah.
What a waste of time that would be.
The ESPN suits probably would not like that. But I will say this, Barry. There are Cinderella stories out there. They would probably have to do something like that. But that ain't who they want. But the Cinderella story, they can pump that up for a little bit. The problem is when you're the SMUs and the Boises of the world and they pump you up, it's kind of like these teams that make the NCAA tournament. Oh, wow, we've made the tournament. I think there was, some term that Jim Nantz came up with, that everybody, just latches on to when you make the tournament. Oh, we made the tournament. We had the big celebration, the party. Yeah, the brackets have been announced. 4 days later, they're packing their bag, heading back to the airport. Wait a minute. What about all that excitement, the euphoria of making the tournament?
With a great experience under their belt, with memories that will last a lifetime, with justification for all the hard work and sacrifice that they put in just to get there. Meanwhile, some teams, all they got to do is show up and show everybody the names on the front of their jerseys. They're in. They're in.
Let me see if I got this straight. A great experience.
Yes.
Get on some charter, fly to Milwaukee,
amazing.
Stay at the La Quinta,
no La Quinta. Come on now.
Stay at some, have some buffet catered in for you. Then you go to some arena and you get blown out by 30, and then you got to come back home. What? Hey, kids, remember when we did that? No, I've tried to forget.
Oh, heck no. Terrible. They'll remember that for the rest of their lives. The problem is that John won't,
I can't tell you played in the Final Four last spring.
Yeah, and he says that with pride. He says that every year.
But what's so great about it? Just the trip? I mean, it can't be great getting blown out by 30. There's nothing great about that. But, the experience. And, man, we got to go to Milwaukee. And I don't know why I'm picking Milwaukee, but just some Des Moines. It doesn't matter. We're some crap city. And you're going, oh, it was great. Is that what basketball players sit around and talk about 20 years after the fact?
That year that their little school made the NCAA tournament? Yes. Yes, they do. And believe me, they don't put the NCAA doesn't put you up in a crap hotel and you have to go get Chipotle on the sly or something like that. That is totally a misrepresentation. Last year, Vanderbilt goes 7-6.
Correct.
They were 3-5 in the SEC.
Yes.
This year, they've already won 3 games. They may not get to the top, but for some of you people out there, it don't matter what they do. They're Vanderbilt. That's like that girl that when she's an 8th grader, she doesn't look all that great. Puberty hits, and all of a sudden, everybody's like, hey, is that Eunice? Really? Wait a minute. Eunice looks, hang on.
Eunice?
Yeah, I'm just trying to Agnes, Gertrude, something like that, All of a sudden, she's looking pretty good. Is she still that girl with the pimples and underfed and with the braces on? No. She looks a lot better,
Yeah.
Same thing with some of these schools.
And then she gets out of high school, 2 years into college, she's knocked up, and then she gets fat and ugly again. So it's kind of like college football. There's teams out there that have their little run, and then they get back to what we knew they were back before they got so-called cute. Hey, our man Travis Ryer on YouTube Talking Tide, joining us here today on Longshore McKnight as he does each and every Tuesday. Hey, Travis, good morning. How you doing? Well,
Let's see if
there.
I may have to do this. Yeah, here we go.
There we go.
Yep.
Sorry about
right.
that.
Hey, Travis, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing really well. Scrambling a little bit, but we're doing really well. Alabama, do people love them again? Is all forgiven for Florida State? Is that justified? You know, the very solid 38-14 win over Wisconsin. Is Kalen back in their good graces?
I think you guys are old enough to remember the old passing of notes in the classroom when you were a kid, you know, between
remember
you and
them.
maybe
John
Susie.
Relied upon them. Yeah.
And you would have yes, no, maybe boxes for her. I think Alabama's squarely in the maybe zone, kind of the friend zone right now.
So if you were
in the back,
if you were in the back of Spencer's with that little 8-ball, that would say "Ask again later."
Yeah. I wouldn't quite be ready to buy Alabama a lava lamp or anything like that, you know, or a Boston poster on velvet that's 3D.
Yeah.
But you know, it helped. I think Saturday helped regain a little trust. I think there are still trust issues though.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fans are seeing, you know, better hustle, better tackling, better effort. You know, we've seen that through the first two games. But Travis, I get the sense that they're not believers until they see what happens in Athens.
I think that was going to be the case regardless. It's just still too soon after Tallahassee to be able to put that totally in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Regardless of, you know, and I'll give this team credit because the only thing that really could have come from these last two games is more negativity. And at least there's not that. There's some suspicion still. And again, maybe some lack of trust for this team based on that performance in the opener. But there's definitely a lot of intrigue to see, hey, maybe they have turned a corner. But to your point, right, I kind of feel that way too. Show me against Georgia in a tough environment at Sanford Stadium.
Ty Simpson, great numbers, highly efficient numbers the last 2 weeks. We were talking with Tom Luganbill earlier on Monday, and he said he's had that time to really settle in now, and it shows. Is that valid?
Yeah, I think so. I think when he is in that mode of really trusting what's going on around him with his protection being right there at the top, he has shown you. I mean, he can attack every area of the football field. We haven't seen maybe as much true vertical throws through 3 games, but man, the deep middle, that crosser to Jeremy Bernard, the third down throw on the second series to Ryan Williams as he's taking a hit, that was huge. That kind of spurred everything, you know, that followed. And give the defense credit too, because that was the sort of complimentary football there after the first series for Alabama ended on the 4th down failure. Bray Hubbard comes right back, gets a takeaway, and then you hit that 3rd and long where Ty sits in there, takes a hit, and delivers a nice throw to Ryan Williams, and you kind of rolled from there. That's more what they got to have, though, if they're going to, you know, beat the Georgias and, you know, even with the LSUs and Tennessees on the schedule at home coming up down the road.
The running game, Travis, I would say is adequate. I mean, it's not explosive. Will Jam Miller change that? Probably not.
You know, I think you said it. I don't think they're going to be a run game centric offense under Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb. You know, they're going to do some things as an extension of the run game that I think can complement more of their outside guys. I thought you saw that against Wisconsin. Wisconsin was dead set with those 2 inside linebackers that can really thump Aguilar, and I think it's Curtis, to take away the backs in the run game. And I thought Grubb did a nice job on early downs, especially from under center, play action off of that. And there was a lot of room to work with because of that in the passing game. They took great advantage of that. And, you know, I just don't think that's who they're going to be offensively. And I'm not sure they have a running back that can kind of cover for some deficiencies that you might have up front. They don't have even a TJ Yeldon type. They certainly don't have a Derrick Henry. But Jam can help them on an every down basis because he can do everything you need on the ball and off the ball. Pass protection comes to mind. He can catch it well enough. But again, that sort of extension of the run game that we saw against Wisconsin was kind of taking away that inside run game, and they started to go RPO to the outside to the tight ends a couple of times. You saw Josh Cuevas off of that. You saw Caleb Edwards off of that. The receivers doing a nice job blocking on the perimeter. You're going to have to kind of factor that type of stuff in too when you think about the run game.
I remember, I think I asked you about this back in the spring or something like that, that I had heard some people saying that one of the real stars, one of the unsung stars from last year was Bray Hubbard. Boy, he had a big game on Saturday. Can he be a star? I mean, is he undervalued, underrated?
Maybe a little bit. I think there were actually some pretty heightened expectations for him for reasons that you sort of outlined, Barry, and that you saw some really good things from him over the second half of last season, especially after Keon Sabb went out. And I think he benefited greatly from that experience. Obviously, like the rest of that defense, the opener against Florida State wasn't exactly a highlight reel for Bray Hubbard, but I think you saw him against Wisconsin essentially do his job, especially in zone coverage. He kind of handled his responsibilities like he was supposed to. And O'Neal, the quarterback for Wisconsin, his eyes kind of took Hubbard to the ball a couple times, and it was pitch and catch. But again, I think even for Bray Hubbard and more the back end of that defense, your physicality is going to be put to the utmost test against Georgia in a couple Saturdays. They're going to have to be far more disciplined than they were against Florida State and far more physical. They just can't catch Georgia for 60 minutes in Athens. They got to deliver some strikes in that game. And first, they got to be in position to do it, which they weren't enough against Florida State. And then, you got to match that, what Georgia's about to bring to you.
What did you think about Georgia and Knoxville on Saturday?
Georgia it's hard to not watch them right now under Kirby and not think about Alabama and Saban in the middle of that run. Even in situations where they take early haymakers, they're poised. They don't panic. As part of a culture within a program that's had plenty of time now to sort of embed itself. That's why when you talk about Alabama right now, you're more interested to see what is this program going to be about under Kalen DeBoer. What we've seen is a team last year in transition, which you kind of wrote it off to that. But that's why the loss to Florida State was particularly discouraging, I thought, was because that was more indicative of your program. You're going into year two, you can write off a lot of things in year one. Going into year two on that type of stage against a quality opponent, you put forth that type of effort, that doesn't speak well for your program. What Georgia has right now is a program. The people come and go, the coaches come and go. Kind of what they are, what the fiber of that program is, doesn't change all that much.
What about did you like, in a broad sense, did you like Mac Jones on Sunday?
Heck yeah. Mac went to New Orleans and cooked,
Yeah, boy, you ain't kidding.
And we might have, for the Jags, we might have the Mac Jones revenge game coming up. If Brock Purdy can't get back, and you know how Mac's wired, he would love to light up his hometown Jags.
When is that game on the schedule?
It's a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jags have a big one against the Texans, the desperate Houston Texans after that tough one last night. Coming up Saturday in Duval, the Jags just, you talk about program culture and grime and how it's hard to completely wash that away when you've lost like the Jaguars have for all these years. That was on display in Cincinnati on Sunday. Just a blown opportunity. You lose to Jake Browning essentially after Joe Burrow goes out in the first half. And but yeah, Mac, I thought did what he needed to do. Obviously New Orleans or the Panthers, right? Have to be the worst team in the National Football League right now. And that's tough for Bryce Young, but that's kind of where it's at.
Yeah, it's tough. It really, we're just going for draft picks now down in New Orleans. It's all about the draft is what we got going on.
Yeah, you get right for Arch in a couple of years,
No kidding. Back to college. Notre Dame and Clemson with 2 losses. Barry threw a stat at me earlier today. This is hard to believe. What'd you say, Barry? Only 11 teams?
11 teams.
Losses?
Only 11 teams are still winless in college football. Notre Dame is one of them, which isn't fair because they've had 2 one-score losses to top 10 teams. So, did you know that Tyler Buckner was still playing college football?
I mean, why not? I'm pretty sure I saw Paul Hornig in there for Notre Dame at one point. I mean, what the heck? Yeah, nothing will surprise me in terms of 37-year-olds playing college football in 2025. Yeah, that was tough for Buckner on that botched PAT, and you just kind of felt when it happened. Yeah, this is kind of how teams lose games.
Yeah,
and it's going to be fascinating. It looks like at the end of this year because we had 3 lost teams in that mix for that playoff a year ago, and the Notre Dames and the Clemsons, the Alabamas. Teams that you kind of were already considering playoff teams before the season. What do they have now? A combined 5 losses between those teams.
Yep.
Look at Florida. I mean, Florida was considered a fringe team. Now with 2 losses after dropping that one in Baton Rouge Saturday night. And who's the best player in college football right now while we're at it? If you had to vote for a Heisman Trophy winner right now, good luck with that.
No kidding. I hadn't really thought about that.
I think Carson Beck in Vegas is right now the current favorite. Carson Beck. That's your favorite right now.
So, Travis, another thing we talked about earlier this morning, and we talked, Clemson, Notre Dame, couple of losses. Some of these way too early playoff projections. I can't believe the suits at ESPN want South Florida, Tulane, and Illinois in their 12-team playoff. And I know we're only 25% way through the regular season, but that's not what they're paying billions of dollars for.
Well, especially after what they got from SMU and Indiana, or kind of how that played out last year. Yeah, I don't disagree at all. And what about Duke with Tulane's quarterback Mensa from a year ago that they paid big money for, and then you lose to Tulane, the team that he left. So it makes for some interesting matchups now. We talk about Mac Jones in the NFL, but this is college football we're talking about, and you're getting those type of matchups with quarterbacks. That's why it's going to be, again, I think it's going to be crazy at the end because the teams that the ESPNs and the consumers are going to want to see, there's a very good chance they're going to be 3 lost teams, sitting there at the end of the season. And what if you got a 1-loss Illinois and the teams, Tulane and I think a lot of that'll probably take care of itself, but we thought that last year and it really didn't.
But we also talked about the committees changed the rules a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're putting more emphasis on schedule strength and things of that nature. I wonder if a 3-loss team with a really tough schedule is going to trump a team like an Illinois or somebody like that might not have as difficult a schedule.
Well, Illinois, that was a blow for it to see Duke go lose at Tulane. after just beating Duke on the road. So you're right. You are kind of who you've played. And that's why if you're Alabama right now, you're rooting like hell for Florida State the rest of the way. Win the ACC, win the ACC championship game, be 11-1, 12-1, whatever it is. That way, if you are one of those 9-3 types at the end of the season, and let's say your losses are to Florida State, Georgia, and another type of top 15 team, you're at least relevant to that discussion at the end of the year.
All true. Great stuff. Travis Reier on YouTube. A lot of different things are available on your YouTube channel. Go over a few of the highlights.
Yeah, we've had a lot of Bama coverage since Saturday. We had Aftermath on Saturday night, which is a live reaction show. We had Second Watch Sunday morning, where we go through kind of the key plays of the game with Wisconsin and talk about them. We had Talking Tide Sunday night with Chase Goodbread. All of these shows have archived on Reier on YouTube and also in podcast form on iTunes and also Spotify, among others. We had No Sleep Teal yesterday, where we talked Jacksonville Jaguars and NFL. And then tonight, I think we're going to have Second Helping with Brent Beard. So we're just kind of rolling around right now.
Man, it is great content, Travis. I'm telling you, so many great, interesting things to check out on Reier on YouTube. And we invite all of our viewers and listeners to check it out as well. I think you'll really, really enjoy it.
Appreciate it very much, Travis. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your week.
You too, buddy. Thank you as always. We'll check in next Tuesday with Travis Reier. Reier on YouTube on our City of Montgomery guest hotline. Really appreciate his input. All right, when we get back, I guess it's time for the Phantoms Daily Dog. We'll see what happened last night. We'll see what we got in line for you today. When we get back on that, also just real interesting about how the rest of the season is going to play out. I wonder how many 3-loss teams can get into the college football playoff. Hard to look ahead that far. But I think you're going to have some three-loss teams, Barry. They're going to be knocking on the playoff door.
I say ultimately, just top of my head, there will be three-loss teams at a minimum. At a minimum. Maybe more. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry and Longshore and McKnight are giving you the opportunity to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact score for either the Auburn or Alabama games each week. Limit 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday morning the week of the games, and all entries must be received before kickoff of each game. Enter by emailing your picks to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. And in the subject line, type in diamonds. 1 additional entry to win a 1-carat natural diamond valued at $3,000 will be up for all weekly winners to pick the score in the national championship game. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. Open 7 days a week, or check them out at marguerites.com. At Marguerites, they make it. They really make it.
The dreams that matter most happen while we're awake, because they're the ones that remind us of the places we want to go, of the ideas we plan to pursue, of the legacies we hope to leave. We understand you have goals to meet, and we want to help you reach them. To fuel your vision and invest in whatever motivates you. So we want to know, what inspires you? Synovus Bank, member FDIC.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has F-150s over 16 grand off plus 2.9%. And your last chance for a tax credit on Lightnings. 17 grand in savings or 0% or $349 a month with zero down.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has Broncos under 35 grand. Bronco Sports under 24 grand. Rockies under 29 grand or $299 a month with zero down. And new Explorers 10 grand off or 2.9%.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Back at it here, 24 minutes past the hour on a Tuesday. Thanks again to Travis Ryer on YouTube, Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com earlier today as well. All right. Monday Night Football. Love the doubleheader. I've let that be known many a time. Don't like the last game when you can't get into double digits in points. And I don't know what's going on out there in Vegas, but they lose at home to the Chargers 20-9. That 3.5 wasn't even close to covering last night for the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Yeah, you know what hurts, Bear? I hate to even mention this, but I was going back and forth on the Bucks and the Raiders. You know, kind of similar. You know, Pirates, you know, out there in the open seas and whatnot. They both wear patches over their eyes, Buccaneers and Raiders and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I just, for some reason, just said, we're going Raiders tonight. It happens. It happens. I get it. All right. Let's move on. Let's go to tonight. Now, Barry, in Major League Baseball, things are getting, well, let's just say interesting.
We're getting down to the short rows, so to speak.
We are. And I don't even know if the Braves won or lost last night. Really don't care. Well, when have I ever cared?
I was about to say, since when have you ever cared? It was a light night in the major leagues. Maybe because they just give it up to an NFL doubleheader and said, look, all right, you got it. Braves did win yesterday.
Oh, good. Good for them.
11-3 at Washington, who is even worse than the Braves are.
They're pretty bad.
They're bad.
Pretty bad. All right,
okay,
so
anyway.
We're to the point now in the Major League schedule. What do we got? About 10, 15 games left in the season?
We got, according to some of them, they got 12 left.
12
left. And about 12 games left.
12 of 162. Seems like this season never ends. Anyway, we're to the point now where you look at the standings and you see things like clinched playoff berth.
Yes.
Clinched division. Eliminated from playoff contention. Percentage chance of making the playoffs. So you got to factor stuff like that in. So you're thinking, are some teams mailing it in? Do they really care? I mean, is it a big deal to get on a charter and stay at some fancy hotel and, you know, have this great elaborate buffet and then go to the stadium and get beat, blown out, embarrassed?
Well, just about a half hour ago, he was talking about how they go to the La Quinta and they eat takeout somewhere.
Yeah, take you out.
Now
Hong Kong buffet number 2.
Now all of a sudden it's fancy hotels.
Yeah, I don't think the hotel. It's just I'm leaving. We got beat. I don't know if I'm going to remember it. But my point being, there's some teams out there that maybe, in some people's minds, have packed their bags. But whoa, hold on, tap the brakes. There's some guys out there, particularly pitchers, that need to have good performance. What they can do. Let the rest of Major League Baseball go, wow, hey, man, we might need to keep our eye on this guy. I know his team sucks, but he really put forth the effort today.
Well, it's that time of the year, and John's absolutely right. It's that time of the year where for some pitchers, even on bad teams, they have incentives in their contract. It can be anything from number of wins to ERA to all these different kind of things, strikeouts, ERA, all that stuff. And they're getting close. Man, I get an extra $3 million bonus if I get to 16 wins. We got 12 games left, and I got 14 wins. I better bear down here, you know.
Yeah, that's where we're going with this Phantoms pick tonight. Now, it's true. It is true. This team's only won 41 games this year. The team they're playing today has won 29 more than this team has. This team is 43 games out of first place. That is true.
Take a look.
It is true. They are probably the worst team in Major League. There's no problem. But they are.
Yeah, there you go. Now I know who you're talking about.
But they got a guy on the mound tonight that needs to make some noise. And this team has lost 2 in a row. That is true. That is true. And they're taking on a team that's got a 1-game winning streak. I guess they beat them last night.
This is a dog game.
It is. Hey.
I'm sorry.
But there's value here, Barry.
Okay.
Don't let the dogness fool you. The Colorado Rockies Barry, this is the smallest dog they've been all year, I think.
That's because the Marlins are horrendous.
Because I'd see the Rockies playing teams like the Dodgers and the Padres. They'd be minus 325. I don't think I've ever seen a baseball team minus 325. They're only minus they're plus 150 today. They're unbelievable. Unbelievable at home. They are the smallest dog I've seen them all year.
The dogness,
So we are taking the Colorado Rockies, hosting the Miami the altitude. The Marlins, they're down there on sea level, hot, humid, sea level. Now you're taking them up there in the thin air of Denver at night, 7:40 first pitch. You got Kyle Freeland on the mound for the Rockies tonight. It's a great setup.
You've got 2 teams that are a combined 111 and 189.
Yeah.
These 2 teams are a combined 78 games under 500.
That's true. And there probably won't be 78 people at the game.
But somebody's got to win it, right?
But somebody's got to win it, Barry. Somebody's got to win it. There's a number, and I like it. I'm taking the Colorado Rockies at plus 150 at home tonight. Come on, home crowd.
Now,
let's pull them through.
I've never bet on anything before, but I have understood that you don't have to watch the game in order. Like the man behind the window doesn't say, "Did you watch any of that?" No, heck no, I didn't watch it. Watch it? That's a terrible game. 2 horrendous teams against you. I ain't watching that. Give me my winnings.
I'm thinking, where would I have watched it? That would have been my question. Where would I have watched it?
Anyway,
I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a place for you to be able to do that. So, we got the Rockies hosting the Marlins, plus 150 tonight. After that tough loss last night, Monday Night Football, we're going back to our strong suit, Major League Baseball.
Weird. That's so weird to hear him say it, but he's not wrong. He is not wrong. Well, the Braves aren't going to win the National League East. The Phillies just clinched it. They're second in a row. They beat the Dodgers in 10 innings, a little bit after 2:00 local time. So, and the Braves are officially out of postseason contention. They ain't going. They're going through the motions right
now. Barry, I don't want to pile on here. I really don't. I mean, that's just not my way. But I am interested in let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 Braves fans that I know of in Montgomery in the River Region area.
Total?
I only know of 4. Robbie from Greenville, John from Wetumpka.
I'm sure he knows others. They just kind of keep it hidden from him for obvious
Well,
reasons.
I guess I can put you on that list. You're kind of a Braves fan.
So
There's 3. And I've heard from you. I know what you've said about the Braves, but what about Robbie? What about John? All these guys, World Series, win the division, rosters loaded. I don't want to pile on. I'm just asking questions.
When?
I'm just asking questions.
Yeah.
How have they fallen so far, so fast? I should have trademarked that.
Injuries.
Injuries.
Much as anything. I don't know.
Injuries. So, I know they're the closest team to our region, but, Dennis Mitchell. Did Dennis Mitchell, is he a Braves fan? Dennis, are you? I didn't know you were a Braves fan.
Yep.
I'm glad to know that.
There you go. Yeah.
But, there again, I'm not piling on because I know this, handful of Braves fans out there. It's tough on you. I get it. Seeing these other teams go on, win.
Dog pile at the pitcher's mound because they
the
just clinched the division. And
what
you're on the
Braves?
outside looking in. That's like all the kids, all the boys in your neighborhood are out there in the street throwing passes and stuff. And here's Brave fan sitting at the piano, looking out the picture window. Well, she says, come on, play your scales one more time. Dun, 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 dun,
you know, Barry, it's kind of like the Bad News Bears until they got Kelly Leak and Amanda
Wurlitzer.
Yeah. Until they got those two, they stunk. They weren't good.
And I think she didn't want to play because she had piano lessons.
Yes, you're right. That she got Buttermaker to pay for while he was allegedly cleaning out pools.
That was one of the most truthful movies I've ever seen. Forget about Saving Private Ryan and True to Life and everything on the beach landing scene. Amanda Wurlitzer and Kelly Leak and what's the fat kid's name and
Engelberg.
Yeah, Engelberg and all those
Rudy
guys.
Stein.
Man, that was childhood.
And remember Buttermaker's car? The trunk didn't have a top on it. You could see it was an open trunk with all of his pool equipment in there.
Yeah.
Oh boy, they just don't make movies like that anymore.
Unfortunately, yes.
Nah, they really don't.
Well, let's take a break. When we come back, we are due for the
Dennis has got some questions for you, Barry. Woo, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have to address some of those as well. Later on, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. Longshore and McKnight rolls on in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117. Or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. Okay, everybody, welcome back in. About 23 minutes to the top of the hour. Barry, I want to welcome in Walker. I don't believe Walker's ever been on the River Region Straw chat line. If he has, I'm sorry for missing you, Walker. But he's a Braves fan. He's admitting
I know Walker. He's one of my favorites. Great dude. As a Braves fan, it'll be nice to watch and relax during the postseason because it's a wide open World Series. Yeah, Walker used to go around with no fingernails because in postseason he'd be chewing those off. Yeah, Walker, great to have you checking in.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
That's awesome stuff there. Good stuff.
Now, this is new. This is a thing.
Okay.
And you can, I mean, if you want to give us breaking details and everything, because you're right in the center of this story. There is an organization called Parker Executive Search. They're running a process for the SEC to hire a football czar. If you can't comment, John, I understand. But
I want to hear more.
The job description is posted here.
Okay.
quote, the associate commissioner for SEC football will provide leadership and oversight for football operations, policy, and stakeholder engagement within the Southeastern Conference. This role serves as the conference's primary liaison to head football coaches, football administrators, and national organizations, ensuring alignment with the SEC's mission and responsiveness to the evolving collegiate athletics landscape. Key areas of responsibility include football competition standards, policy advice.
Let me write that down. I like that. That is a good term. SEC football competition standards.
Mississippi State. Sorry. Yeah, this is Zara Longshore. You're out. You're not good enough. Bye. Policy advisement on national governance issues, NIL, transfer portal, college football playoff, employment models, plus the enhancement of officiating and scheduling practices.
Oh, I'm in.
And advancing student athlete welfare and program.
Yeah, whatever. I get somebody else to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, John, I mean, anybody who reads that piece, anybody who has seen that job description, anybody with any sense is leading them to one name and one name only. Do you have a statement to give?
Not at this time, but stay tuned, as they say. But I think I like the parameters. I like the bullet point list there of what is expected, how you're supposed to conduct your program, how you should act. There's just some standards that you need to adhere to. I think we've gotten a little loose.
Proven ability.
In a lot of aspects of society, not just SEC football.
Proven ability, among others, to build and sustain relationships with TV partners.
Okay.
And bowl executives.
Okay. TV partners.
Hey, who do you want? Look, I know Vanderbilt's in line for this to be our fourth in the college football playoff. We got 3 in. If you guys don't want Vanderbilt,
what is that network?
Let me offer you a couple of alternatives.
What is that network during the NCAA tournament where they usually play in bait car? And how did I not get away with it?
Oh, that's
put basketball games on.
That's TBS.
No,
right?
True TV.
True TV. Okay, yeah, True TV.
No, nothing like that. You're never going to have games on, little networks like that. Well, wait a minute. How do they become a big network? You got to give them a chance. Out. Not going to happen.
This is America, Jack. You got to give them a chance. A football czar in the SEC. It sounds like somebody I know is uniquely qualified. Football competition standards, enhancement of officiating, policy advisement on NFL transfers and the college football playoff.
Is there an issue with officials? I know people complain every week. I mean, Notre Dame's complaining that an A&M offensive lineman basically tackled a Notre Dame defensive lineman on the last play of the game in which Texas A&M scored and won. I hate it for you, but I think I don't think officiating's that bad. I don't know. There's always a game every week. Oh, God, can you believe that? That's not on the top of my list. I think officiating's actually pretty good. I mean, always can be better, but I'm not complaining about that.
Yeah, but whenever somebody had asked you before about certain games or certain teams that have not had a holding penalty called upon them all year, John's like, maybe they didn't hold.
Yeah.
Ever thought about that? John will come out with a strong anti-chop block platform.
Not putting up with that.
If you do it, not only will you get called for it and penalized for it, but you will be cited for it for 15 years after the fact.
Yeah. Well, Barry, there's also rules that they need to
implement
or reinstate.
Okay.
Well, the La Mo game, Bama's playing La Mo. The punter tackles the Alabama punt return. He didn't tackle him. He clotheslined him. No flag. I said, beautiful, like it used to be. Like we did in the backyard. Used to clothesline people all the time. The punter got away with it. Go, yeah.
Like they did in The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
With the guy who played Jaws in Star Wars,
I mean, I don't get the clothesline penalty. I mean, the guy sees it coming.
Get your head on a swivel. Watch out for it. You're fine,
Yeah. I have no problem with that.
Fair point. Yeah.
All right. So I see the Gurn Junior Victoryland 777 topic
Yep.
wheel is loaded up. Man, there are a lot of topics on that wheel today.
Yeah.
Woo!
Let's get to a couple of them here before our final break.
Let's do it. Man, we got an orange panel today. First
Have
time
we
I've
ever
seen
had
the
an
orange.
orange?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Got
Brought
a
to
new
you by
color. And look at that. It's going to
Victoryland.
fall on it.
Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85, Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too, unless you have a bad caddy.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. What do we got here?
U.S. Mid-Amateur.
Okay.
All right. Paul Mitzel. He lost the hole. Was in the playoff?
Yeah. Can't
His
get in the
caddy
cart.
accepted a cart ride from the first green to the second.
Mm-mm.
The walking rules official called the penalty, which model local rule G6 resulted in loss of the hole, and in this case, the match. During a round, a player or caddy must not ride on any form of motorized transportation except as authorized and approved by the
That's
committee.
true.
Who's that caddy?
Yeah.
They're like, dude, what are you doing?
Mm.
Loses in the U.S. Mid-Amateur. Two things are silly about golf more than anything else. Number one, what is the Mid-Amateur?
Well, that's Barry.
Are you
that's
like,
a
do you
good
have
question.
like
It's
mini
for,
amateurs, maxi amateurs, and mid-amateurs?
It's for, let's say, older people. I believe the minimum
middle
age
age.
is 25. You got to be 25 or older.
Okay.
You can't have these college kids, and you can't have these young bucks that are hitting it 350 off the tip. What some of them are. I mean, but it's for an older, I say older, 25 and up.
And number two, what's with all those rules?
A lot of rules.
I mean, believe me, if there was no such thing as golf carts, the sport would be dead.
Pretty much.
By now.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. It ain't just golf carts. It's the cart girl with a cooler full of beer, maybe some cigars if you need some.
Yeah.
Some fireball shots.
Betting is evidently a premium reason for a lot of people to even get out on the golf course and take swings. I know people who hadn't played a round of golf just for the pure joy of the sport since they were 6.
Yeah. Ding.
Okay.
Yeah. So in practice tee, range balls, forget it.
Range balls.
Yeah. Overrated.
Here we go.
Yeah. Jaws was he was in Moonraker. But Moonraker was kind of the reason that they filmed and they released Moonraker when they did, it was right after Star Wars, and they wanted to capitalize on the Star Wars.
I say Star Wars? Yeah, I did.
Phenom.
I meant Bond. Jaws is Richard Keel. He was also in Pale Rider, and he was also in Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
A little trivia there for you, Barry.
Appreciated actor.
The Spy Who Loved Me was the movie before Moonraker, and at the end of The Spy Who Loved Me, it said, James Bond will return in For Your Eyes Only. But they decided they needed to do Moonraker before Your Eyes Only because of the Star Wars.
No. Moonraker was the worst Roger Moore Bond. I don't know. The one with the girl that was the ice skater that Bond was like 60 and she was like 21.
Yeah, that was For Your Eyes Only, I believe.
For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah,
that was the worst. The worst Bond ever was that one with, again, Pierce Brosnan, where he's using the hood of a car to
that was his
windsurf
last
off
one.
of an ice cliff.
Brutal.
Jeez.
Horrible.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Now,
all right, let's spin it.
Let's spin it one more time, then a break.
Okay.
Was For Your Eyes Only wherever he said the things I do for Britain, or was that the one where he's got like the closed circuit into Margaret Thatcher's bedroom.
That might have been the end of it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
okay,
Yeah, something
all
like
right.
the end of, I think it was the ending credits. Rally ball.
Yes.
Rally ball. What do we got here? Rally ball.
Oh, yeah. This is Phillies clinch the National League East. I mentioned that about 2 o'clock in the morning. They win in 10 over the Dodgers.
Put a shirt on. Wow, look at that. Or 10. Man. Ooh.
Yeah. 6'5", Schwarber, who's very likely the National League MVP winner, celebrated by chugging beer out of a hose as his teammate fed the contraption. Boys, that's a tunnel.
That's called a funnel.
A funnel, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a funnel.
Yeah, funneling a beer.
Yeah. Schwarber says you got to enjoy this. Puffing on a fat cigar. That's fat with an F. This doesn't happen all the time.
No, I can tell you where it isn't happening.
It's in Atlanta.
Truist
right
Park.
now.
Ain't happening
No
there.
question. Let's take a break. More to come in just a moment. It's the Victoryland 777 topic wheel on Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market offers the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of Mexico with deliveries daily. Snapper, grouper, pompano, flounder, copia, along with medium, large, and jumbo shrimp, hand-picked crab meat, and chucked oysters. They can even cook your order for easy, quick pickup. The Destin Connection can make a po' boy with any of their seafood items that folks in New Orleans rave about. Go by and see them at 3750 Norman Bridge Road or call 288-4272 for pickup orders.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, 9 minutes to go until the top of the hour. Let's see what's popping up on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Victoryland, exit 22 off I-85, Shorter, Alabama, 365, 24/7. It is open for your convenience. And in
the pool.
Well, I don't know. Turning point.
Tuning up. Yeah, Scheffler wins again. Is this even a thing anymore? Tuning up for the Ryder Cup. Scheffler, the Pro Core Championship. One-shot victory over Ben Griffin. Played this golf course for the very first time. Pretty challenging, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, wait a minute. First time he'd ever played it? Wait a minute. Wow. Now that's impressive. Not knowing the nuances of a course. You got to get a little, I want to say practice round, Barry, but that's very deceiving. Because these pros, when they go play a practice round, they got a little action going on. They'll get a group together. Hey, Rory, you want to play this week? Okay, let's see if JT can throw in with us and maybe Tiger as well. They ain't going out there on a Tuesday or Wednesday before a tournament without a little action on the side. Phil Mickelson was notorious about that. And they ain't playing for like $100 either. They're making it interesting.
A lot of money.
So my point being, wait a minute, we're going to go out there and play for 4 hours for nothing? We got to put something on it. Pros are doing it too.
Whoa. They're not making enough money, you know.
Yeah, I mean, $100 for those guys, they don't care.
See, that's the thing, John. I'm starting to believe that it's not really about the money.
Oh,
you know, it's really not, it's like, boy, do I really need this money after I've already made $7 million this year. No, it's because the sport is so boring that they've got to jazz it up amongst themselves to say, all right, I know we're playing for this championship and all that, but
now
we put a little extra on it too. It doesn't feel.
Yeah, and well, a couple of things. It isn't about the money, but it is satisfying when I can get $20 out of my buddy's pocket. I just know it irks him to have to, give me $20 or whatever it is we were wagering on. But in terms of wagering, why do you think sports wagering has exploded across this country? Baseball? You expect me to watch a baseball game? Hey, man, you put $100 on it, every pitch is exciting. Found that out myself. NFL, I don't care what Cleveland's doing today. You do if you got $100 on it.
Yeah, but it's a little bit of a misnomer to say it's exploded recently. No.
Well,
it's always been
legally. It's exploded legally recently in about 39 states. But I don't want to get off on that because we got more topics to go. We have still not got on the orange one yet. I don't really like orange. It's not one of my favorite colors.
No, it's not in the color.
It's got right there next to that navy blue one too. Got a little Auburn thing working today. Not another toe. Uh-oh, what happened?
Oh, yeah. Toes, yeah. He may be gone for like 3 or 4 months.
This guy's kind of injury prone, Barry.
Yeah, but his toe?
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
I don't know. 5 injuries, and his third to sideline him for a significant time since he drafted. He is a terrific quarterback.
Yeah.
10 games because of an ACL. He's played in 71 of 85 games. He's really good, but gosh, he can't stay healthy, and that's a shame.
That is pretty. I think we're going to talk about him on our Phoenix Physical Therapy injury report tomorrow. He's on the list of players we're going to talk about. All right, 3 more to go. Let's see what we got. The orange panel is gone. We're out of the orange, but the aqua's still there. So let's spin it and see what we got. Victoryland, exit 22 off I-85, Shorter, Alabama, open 24/7, 365, where you can be a winner too. Must be 21 or older or enter. All right, Tirade. I've been on a few of those lately.
Lately? That's like saying betting has only just recently exploded. Yeah, I don't know what the deal was here. Question after their big win over Florida. I don't know who the guy was. Asked about his team's offensive struggles. And he said, really, is that the first question? We won the game and you're da-da-da. And so it got kind of confrontational. Kelly's kind of a jerk.
But he did go back and apologize, Barry. I did see where
that's
Kelly
what the
apologized
story's
yesterday.
about. Yeah. That's what this story's about. I just, some people are just jerks, you know, so.
Until you meet them, Barry. I mean, believe it or not, there have been people out there, I believe, that have asked you, is that Longshore really a jerk? You just got to get to know him.
No.
You got to go meet him.
He probably doesn't want you to let him know, anybody know this, but he's a nice guy. So I was like, hey.
You're ruining my image.
That's right.
All right, 2 more to go. Let's see what we got here. Look, we don't know what these topics are. This is the first time we've seen them, just like you out there in the viewing and listening audience. So this is new to us. We're playing along. Only one person knows the answers, and that's Gurn Jr. So spin away.
That's a bad combination. In the pool.
In the pool. Hey, get out of the pool. 1 to 115. Here it is. It's no big deal.
Oh, yeah. What do you do when you're Georgia Tech and you rush the field? You get dinged for $50,000.
Man, wow.
For rushing the field.
Yeah.
And you're in downtown Atlanta. What do you do with it? Oh, you go to the president's mansion.
Throw it in the pool. Yeah.
That doesn't have the same. I mean, it's number one, rushing the field. Number 2,
that out.
Number 2, tearing down the goalpost dumb. Number 3, throwing it in a swimming pool.
How'd they get in the president's backyard? Don't you have to have a fence around a pool? Huh.
Maybe he let him in. I don't know. But it cost him $50,000.
$50,000. Oh, yeah. So what? Let him come on the field. No big deal. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Just wait.
Yes.
Okay. Let's got one more to go, I believe.
Here we go.
One more to go.
Big winner. That could be you at Victoryland, where you can be a winner too.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Big winner. Who's the big winner?
Who we got?
All right. Big. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield's he's a dog.
You know what Troy Aikman said? He says he's not very fast. He's not very athletic, but the guy knows how to play football.
Doesn't have a huge. I mean, he started at Texas Tech as a true freshman walk-on.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't even have him in the program until right before the season. Didn't have him a scholarship. And he started as a freshman. This was, again, 11 plays, 80 yards, game on the line, and they get a touchdown with like 6 seconds to go. It was funny because it made it 20-19 with the extra point, and Houston couldn't do anything. I mean, Tampa Bay kicked off with 6 seconds to go. That poor kid, all he had trying to do, he's trying to run for a touchdown on the kickoff, and just.
I wonder if he should have called a fair catch there.
That's what I was wondering. You know, call a fair catch, do something, try and catch it with a foot out of bounds or something like that. I don't know.
Is the college game ever going to go to the NFL style kickoff?
I hope not, because that's silly looking.
I don't like it either.
It's silly. Now, they need to do something because everything's a kickoff, a touchback in college, it feels like. So there is there's got to be a better way, because I like kickoff returns. People get the snot knocked out of them. People get injured with them, but it's exciting.
Like punt returns. They're going to change that in the NFL? You get hurt there too. Guys barreling down the field, going after one another. I don't know. It's a physical game. Barry, tomorrow, speaking of physical, our Phoenix Physical Therapy injury update. We'll do that tomorrow to kick off hour number 2. But in hour number 1, Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, at the bottom of hour 1. CJ Duncan in the bottom of hour 2. I know CJ's got to be riding high. His Commodore's playing well, and we'll get to CJ's take along with everybody else's tomorrow on the Wednesday Longshore and McKnight.
Our thanks to Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com, Travis Ryer on YouTube, and our producer, Gurn Jr. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.